Back in July of 2001, the leaders of the 7 wealthiest nations of our world gathered here, even invited one Vladimir Putin to join them, because back then Vladimir Putin was our friend. This notorious elite of the times were here to discuss the future of globalized economy. Globalized economy was viewed by the common folk as basically another trap that would make the poor poorer, with actually benefiting those who in the first place were responsible for world poverty. During those days, some 300,000 people were eager to arrive in Genova in order to protest. I'm not entirely sure how many of them actually made it. A lot of people were actually blocked outside of the city. They just couldn't arrive. From those that did arrive, there have been many different varieties of opinion, let's say. Hardcore communists, anarchists, pacifists. There was a small group that had as only interest to break things. These people, some people are into breaking. They break doors, they break windows, they break cars, set them on fire, stuff like that. That small minority dressed in black, the Black Bloc, was basically here to cause all sorts of trouble. And then we come to the matter of policing the whole event. Now, the local police, let's just say, they made some very interesting decisions on the matter. The first decision was the numbers. I mean, basically a small army arrived in Genova to police the whole thing. The second decision was the fact that they had actually decided to use a gas that had been forbidden for use in war times because of its toxicity. Now, what they haven't been prepared for, or who knows, maybe they actually were happy it happened, was the Black Bloc. Alright man, check this out. This is the spot. It says Carlo Giuliani, ragazzo, 20 luglio, so 20 to 20th of July 2001. This is the exact spot that Carlo Giuliani was viciously murdered. Just picture this. You have a huge protest happening just one street down from here. And you have a very small group of people dressed in black who are breaking things at the end of the demonstration. Now, the police, what they decided to do is basically attack the demonstration. People used the side roads to get away from it. Police started following them. And in this area, the Piazza Alimonta, 2 of the police cars were blocked. I mean, you had a car here and a lot of angry demonstrators who were on the receiving end of violence actually tried to attack back. One of them was Carlo Giuliani. Now, the defender could not escape that particular attack. And one of the policemen who were inside the defender pulled his gun out and shot.
Oddio, cazzo, sono per... Oddio! No! No, porca troia! Merda!
Carlo Giuliani was shot here. What is sad and absurd at the same time is that that shot was not the cause of his death. The cause of his death was the defender itself, which decided to pull back and step on his body. The ridiculousness of information that came out after this event was out of this world. People from the police actually came with the idea that the bullet had ricocheted on a stone that at that particular moment was flying towards the defender from other protesters. So picture this, a stone, an actual stone. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous. Hit the bullet, and the bullet ricocheted and hit Giuliani on the face. And another interesting thing is that when more and more police arrived and they tried to isolate the body of Giuliani, people with cameras, people who were in the area, they actually noticed that things were being moved. It's a very weird story with one very dead young man. It's the same pattern every time. The people from the black bloc break stuff, the police are charging, and they end up attacking the others, the ones who had permits to be there and demonstrate. Now, someone a little bit more suspicious would probably say, I think there's something fishy here. I think this black bloc maybe we're secret policemen trying to provoke a reaction. Probably we'll never know. The police got the information that the black bloc was causing trouble near the Marassi area. Marassi is the suburb where also the stadium is, but there's also a jail over there. So they get the information that there's trouble there, and they are ordered to get close. When the police arrive, the black bloc disappeared, and they ended up at Piazza Manin. The only problem was that in Piazza Manin there has been another demonstration going on. In Piazza Manin, the people with the white hands were demonstrating. And when those same people noticed the police coming after the black bloc, they were quite happy. They literally thought that the police were there to protect them from the black bloc. Boy, were they wrong. I mean, when the police arrived, they started beating them up. How do all these stories sound to you? The funny thing is that there are actually videos out there with every single moment of what we are talking about. Well, if you want to explore Genova, you have to climb stairs. Welcome to Piazza Manin, everyone. This is quite an inconspicuous place. If you don't know what happened here, you basically walk by it, or not even walk by it, totally ignore it. Did you know that Genova is actually the first place to adopt the cross of St. George as its symbol? England, after getting permission from Genova, adopted it back in the 14th century. Genova decided to use this a couple of centuries earlier. The original patron saint of Genova was San Lorenzo, St. Lawrence, but he wasn't such a good war symbol, you know? He was more of a hippie. So Genova adopted the cross of St. George in order to symbolize its fighting spirit. Imagine being the police during those days. You managed to beat the normal protesters, hunt the black bloc around without any kind of success, and you managed to get a young student killed. Pressure is piling. The police needed to come back with a success, because so far everything has been a great misery, culminating with the dead Carlo Giuliani. Someone told someone, and this someone told the police that there was this school where some very dubious people were coming in and out. People with bandanas covering their faces. People who were throwing objects to policemen. They're going in and out that school. That was basically all that the local police needed. Finally we got them, did they? Let's have a look. Let me tell you the amount of stairs. Whew. Whew. Look how beautiful Genoa is, man. We got them, said the chief of police. We got them, said the people at the ministries. Hell yeah, we got them, said the carabinieri, who up until that point made their best to beat up only the innocent. At 12 o'clock, midnight of the 21st of July, they managed to invade this building here. This is the Diaz School. Now, the first victim of this attack was actually a British reporter who was somewhere here, this area. There is footage that came from that building up there, actually showing this, the amount of violence that took place here. It's very difficult to describe. Now there are videos out there, and I usually have the tendency to use them in order to make a point, but I think YouTube will probably destroy my small channel if I do that. So there are links out there for everyone who wants to have a look. There were some 90, I don't remember the numbers exactly, people arrested. Some 60 plus of them were sent to the hospital with various injuries, with quite heavy injuries actually. The people arrested from the Diaz School were moved at a prison, and Guantanamo Bay processes were applied. In 3 days, what happened here is the following. We had police beating up absolutely everyone except from the Black Bloc, arresting people except from the Black Bloc, finally causing the death of a young student who wasn't Black Bloc, and they finally managed to end up without any kind of arrest or placing into custody absolutely anyone from the Black Bloc. But, as they say here in Italy, sometimes it's amazing what kind of things just seem to stick into our minds. I mean, this whole story with the G7, G8, with Comrade Vlad, took place 20 plus years ago. And I remember every detail of it. That was then, this is now. Let's go back to the center and find a focaccia or something. I'm starving, I want a coffee. I need a coffee. Are you kidding me, man? It's the king. Grande, prego. I'm starving. Cheers. Look at how this is taking ages.
3 hours later.
Well, the pesto is brilliant. Now the gnocchi.
Abbiamo appena ascoltato proprio la parola questo re che minaccia il regno di questo mondo, anche se lui è chiaro a dire il mio regno non è di questo mondo. Questo
I need to buy pesto. I can't believe it. I'm here. I'm going to live without buying pestos.
You travel tomorrow? I give you thermical bag.
What a system you have. People like Vincenzo Spagnolo, Carlo Giuliani, my own teams, Young Fan, Mihalis, they die for no particular reason. Nobody really cares. What's left behind are families crying, friends, maybe a little statuette in the park, or even maybe some flowers set next to the said statuette. No government is going to cry about them, and definitely no police is going to cry about them. So yeah, from Genova, signing off.